And I think another incredible part about that scene is like he was a good fighter. He was a warrior.
Yeah.
Right? But his pride could have got him killed. If he would have thought like, I'm good enough to go at this alone, he would have got killed instantly and immediately, right? And so for him to have the wherewithal and the humility
Right.
to say, look, there's no way we win without sticking together.
Right.
And I think that's amazing. And I think that's where we struggle at life. And as you comparing it to real life, I think a lot of people have so much pride that instead of asking for the help, instead of asking, let's build a team, let's start something together, they just shipwreck by themselves.
Right.
They live paycheck to paycheck by themselves. They build their own mini empires by themselves, and they okay with it. And then the problem with that is, as soon as somebody take you out, or what somebody or a sickness or a car accident or anything may happen, you may lose the job. Then you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think working together is like the cheat code to life.
Anyone here been in the army?
Yes. I served with you at Vindabana.
You can help me. Whatever comes out of these gates, we've got a better chance of survival if we work together. Do you understand? If we stay together, we survive.
Great the Great. What's good, bro?
D-Dan, what's the word, man?
No, man. I want to jump right into it, man.
Let's do it.
Gladiator.
Great
One of the
movie.
Top films of all time.
Great movie. Russell Crowe, great actor.
Killed the role. Man, I heard a lot of stuff about the movie, about they really didn't have a script. They just had like a first few parts, and then Russell Crowe had to come in and really help them bring the film to what we saw.
Really?
Yeah, he had a lot of input. They just had like it was like 26 pages from what I heard. And the script is normally like 110, something
Man,
like
that's
that.
amazing, man. Just incredible talent, incredible mind. Obviously a visionary. Yeah, man. For that to be one of the greatest movies of all time, and just to hear that information is just insane.
Yeah. So let's get into what we just saw.
It really just shows the power of teamwork, the power of togetherness, the law of agreement. I think once you put your mind to anything and then you get other people to agree with that and they put their mind to it, you can accomplish anything in the world. Like there's nothing that you can't do.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And I think the reason why it works is because obviously you expedite the process because two is better than one, right? And,
For sure.
And you start having that domino effect when you start adding others. But then everybody don't think the same, right? So when you may have one concept in your mind or one process in your mind, and somebody may come and add a process or a concept that's going to expedite that process to take that thing to the next level. And so I think the strength are in the numbers. What you think?
So I look at this scene and I see one of the greatest scenes of all time because of the life lesson.
Yeah.
Right? So we break it down to the Roman Empire, the arena, gladiators.
Yeah.
Right? The entire structure of that arena is for the gladiators to die.
To lose. Yeah.
It's literally set up for them to lose.
Yeah.
And we know who Maximus is.
Yes, we do.
A beast.
Yeah.
Right? But him knowing the dynamics of teamwork, he says, if you want to survive,
sure,
we have to stick together. That's so powerful because he knows that he can go out there and he may get a kill or 2 or 3, but he knows that the enemy, they are coordinated. They already have the advantage,
Yeah.
right? Because they have chariots, right? They have bows and arrows, right? They have their swords, and it's a larger force.
Sure.
So he knows immediately we have to stick together in order to survive.
Yeah.
And he commands that entire situation.
Yeah.
And immediately when they open those gates, he begins giving commands,
Yeah.
right? And orders.
Yeah.
And what you see is a few individuals, they do what they've always done their entire lives. They acted on their own.
Yeah.
And
They went
immediately
They went at it alone.
they went at it alone. And what happened?
Destroyed. Instantly.
And so fast, bro.
Yeah.
So you thinking like, dang, like, so I'm taking that as real life. Like that's what's happening in life, right? So in the midst of all of this chaos, because you got to think, he's never been in this environment before,
Sure.
right? He's never been in an arena. He's never had the roar of the crowd and the emperor or the Caesar or whoever. The entire structure is formatted for them to lose. And then he takes control because he understands the power of team dynamics.
Yeah.
And they come together and they dominate.
Yeah. And I think another incredible part about that scene is, like, he was a good fighter. He was a warrior.
Yeah.
Right? But his pride could have got him killed. If he would have thought, like, I'm good enough to go at this alone, he would have got killed instantly and immediately, right? And so for him to have the wherewithal and the humility,
Right.
to say, look, there's no way we win without sticking together.
Right.
And I think that's amazing. And I think that's where we struggle at life. And as you comparing it to real life, I think a lot of people have so much pride that instead of asking for the help, instead of asking, let's build a team, let's start something together, they just shipwreck by themselves.
Right.
They live paycheck to paycheck by themselves. They build their own mini empires by themselves, and they okay with it. And then the problem with that is, as soon as somebody take you out, or somebody or a sickness or a car accident or anything may happen, you may lose the job. Then you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think working together is like the cheat code to life. And everybody that you see operating like that, they win in life.
No, so that's the other dynamic. So 2 dynamics, you brought up a great point about his pride, right? But then we can't forget about the humility of the team and the gladiators that backed him. They followed
the
orders
instructions
immediately.
Yeah.
Like you can see Dejamon Houston, he looks terrified. Great job by him.
Yes.
Right? He looked terrified. And they like, oh my, like you never been in this situation, you never been in this scenario, and you know that this is where gladiators go to die.
Sure.
You have the legend of some, but that's few and far between. The majority of those guys are dying, and that's what's happening in real life.
Yeah.
The majority of people are dying and perishing.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally,
Sure.
health-wise, all types of ways that we are dying. But their humility to say, man, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Sure.
But we stand a chance and let's see.
Yeah.
Right. And once everybody bought in, he began to command them.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
And they started doing and then immediately they saw the results.
Yeah.
And the tide turned.
Sure.
Right. So my opinion, D, we fight teams, structures, systems, great word, every day, and we don't realize it.
That's an excellent point. Where do you think that dynamic come from?
I'll be honest, bro. In my opinion, we are not taught to work as a team.
Yeah.
It starts from a very young age, even so, it starts at a young age, right? We are not taught to work together.
Sure.
Right? We're taught to play together and have, we spend our leisure time together, but very rarely do we work together, right? And I think it's changed because the dynamics of our country has changed. Like we're more efficient.
Sure.
And because we're more efficient, then you don't necessarily believe that you need the next man. You don't necessarily need your brothers or sisters or your mother and your father. But when you had to farm and till the land, you knew this is not a task that I want to do.
It's not a one-man
alone.
job.
It's not, right?
That's very true. So the world has become so civilized that it causes us to isolate ourselves from one another.
Yeah.
In regards to working together.
In regards to working together. And obviously we have, and I think it's masked.
Yeah.
Let me say, I think it's masked because you hear about, we focus on the negative.
Sure.
Right? So you hear about a company where two brothers got together and you hear the fallout.
That's very true.
Right? But you don't hear the brothers that got together and they are dominating.
Yeah.
You don't hear about the family that they got together and they're dominating. And even if they are, we have so much media that comes at us, whether it's social media, whether it's TV, whether it's advertising, a poster board, like whatever it is coming at you so fast, and the majority of it is negative. So when you do see this bright spot, it's washed out fast.
Yeah.
And you're not paying that much attention to it. And then I do think that we don't have the Maximus. Like we don't have those, and I'm speaking of like in terms of like little league, right? From the time we start playing team sports.
Yeah.
You don't have someone who has the experience and they have the know-how to direct children and how to operate in this team dynamic.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you're on a team, quote unquote, you have one, maybe two individuals who can ball.
Yeah.
Right. And then the coach takes that and then everybody depends on that.
Sure.
They don't work the others. They don't develop the others.
Yeah.
And so now the person who is the man or the main girl,
sure.
They're like, y'all can't even ball. Like, I'm just gonna go to another team where it's other people, but you never cultivated a team.
Yeah. No, absolutely true. I want to talk about how do we begin to fix that issue of not being taught to work as a team, not being able to understand that you win with others. When you think about major companies, when you think about stock market, when you think about things that grow at a high rate, it's all because people are coming together.
Yeah.
They're pooling their money into the stock market, and then that's what causes it to grow. Even the lottery system, people are paying into a system and it's causing those numbers to grow. So we see examples all the time. Even major companies, they start off with investors, whether they're silent investors or investors that don't mind being displayed. But that goes to show you that it takes numbers, it takes people, it takes working together. And so how do we fix that narrative of I can do it all by myself? Because a lot of people, coming from where we come from, a lot of people like have LLCs and they like, I got a business and I have an LLC, right? But like they own 100% of nothing versus if all of us come together and it's 5 or 10 of us and then we got 5 to 10% of ownership, but we got money and we're doing well. And then so like you rather own 100% of nothing or you rather be on a team where your 5% is actually gaining value.
Right. And it's worth something.
And it's worth something. So how do we get to that place? Like, how do we get to the place of like, okay, I gotta understand that if I want to be successful, I'm gonna need team.
Right. Well, I think that we really need to look at our circumstances
Yeah,
and realize the need to work together, and it starts with that pride dynamic that you were talking about.
yeah,
Depending on how old you are, a lot of us we don't want to change. So a lot of people, they are comfortable with, I'm gonna stay doing what I'm doing and I'm cool with it.
yeah,
So for most people, it's the pride dynamic, but it's also a change in mindset.
yeah,
Like it has to be, we have to come to a point to where we're no longer comfortable
yeah,
in our situations, and we can accept the fact that you might be better than me, or you are better than me
Yeah.
at this, and I can follow your lead, and I can contribute what I contribute. We really talk about this all the time, D. We talk about Draymond Green and the Warriors.
yeah,
We talk about this so much, and how as great as LeBron is,
yeah,
they knew they couldn't beat that team.
yeah.
And this not to knock anybody on the Cavs team,
No, for sure.
because they worked very hard,
Yeah.
but it was that dynamic where you had just incredible talent, but him versus a team is not going to happen.
Never.
And he even knew that when he was in Cleveland. He was running up against Boston. He said, he's like, man, I know I couldn't beat these guys, so I had to go do what?
Get a
Give
team.
me a team.
Get a team. I mean, it's so important. So for me, like you said, losing pride is a critical piece to building a team, because you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable place if you wasn't raised and taught in this way, right? Also, the importance of team is so that we can hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And I think we always make the excuse for self. And so let's say if I'm saying like, man, I want to straight go on a diet, I want to lose some weight, I want to get my body right?
Right.
If I just tell it to myself, there's no one there to hold me accountable. So I can cheat at any moment,
Yeah.
right? But if I was to tell you or James or, any of our friend group, right? Hey, I'm going on a diet and I want to get my body right. And I'm
Right.
starting May 1st.
Right.
Well, May 15th come and you see me eating fried chicken, sweet potatoes,
Trash.
macaroni and cheese. You see me eating all this trash food, then you can say something to me. And so I think a lot of times people run from team because they don't want nobody to say anything to them and hold them accountable.
Right.
But the beauty in having teamwork is that accountability so that you can grow. Without accountability, I feel like you don't grow. And I feel like the same way with finances. If you are in total control of your finances, then you can do whatever you want to do. You can gamble it away, you can shop it away, you can do whatever. But if you tell somebody, hey, I'm trying to save X amount of dollars, or I'm trying to get this life insurance policy, or I'm trying to save for my baby's college fund now, and you give that obligation to somebody else and you tell them like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, then now they can hold you accountable. If I say, D, hey, I want to save $200 a month, man. It's this property I've been looking at. Okay, cool, D. Send me $200 a month.
Right.
The minute that I don't send $200 for whatever month, you call me.
Yeah, I'm calling.
And so it's the accountability that I think people don't want as well. What you think about that?
I think that the accountability is very important, and I also think that cutting out outside noise. A lot of times when we attempt to do new things, immediately people begin to express like the negative, like, wow, that could go wrong, or what if they do this, or what if they do that? Like,
that is so true.
And so in your mind, like, you have this negative self-fulfilling prophecy that is not going to work. And so you come into a new endeavor with this negative thought process, and people are like, dang. and you like, man, somebody gonna do something, so
Yeah.
you may not even start
It's true.
before it even starts. And so cutting out the outside noise, but also getting with like-minded people. I think that's what we are discovering and have discovered in this age of information.
Sure.
Like-minded people, right? So you talk about the stock market. That's really what happened with the meme stocks.
Yeah.
Somebody figured something out, the Reddit group, they figured it out, and then they said, man, how about we do this together? And they ran the stock all the way up,
Yeah.
right? It's not that the stock was worth whatever, but they just figured out the system,
Yeah.
right? And their strength in numbers worked.
Yeah.
And so the dynamic of cutting out the outside noise, right, and buying in
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah.
Right? And you see the results.
Yeah.
You see results that you don't see when people are doing things together. And what we think is one person is not.
Very true.
We argue. What do we argue when we talking sports? We talking GOAT conversations. What are we arguing?
Individual play,
Individual play.
but it's a team sport.
Is
Even Jay-Z and all this business acumen in his entire career, he has so many people in the background that's working on his behalf.
Yes.
That's building the brand,
Yeah.
marketing geniuses, like
Yeah.
social media geniuses, IT guys, like all of these people that's working on the back end, but all you see is Jay-Z. All you see is Rockefeller, Rockaware, Rock Nation. So you just attribute like, this guy's a genius. This guy's amazing. But you don't see like that graphic designer that created those logos. You know, like you think it was all him.
Right.
And so that's an incredible point. And I'm realizing early in my career that, man, I need so much. We can't even do this podcast without cameramen and audio engineers, without one another.
Right.
It's so much that go into this stuff. And I think we've been bamboozled to think like, oh, I can do all of this stuff. And then once you get in the thick of it, you realize like, oh, I need people.
No, it's a wrap. If you don't have people.
If you don't have people, it's over with.
Yeah. Like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right. And then you always have someone say, oh, well, I tried to do that and I got screwed over. Okay.
Projecting fear.
Yeah. Projecting insecurity.
Yeah.
Projecting failure.
Yeah.
And other people are like, yeah, but I failed forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I could have had a setback, but I'm still going to move forward. The other thing about this, D, I heard
we got to talk more about that. We can't just move past that. You have to surround yourself around people who's going to champion your belief systems, people that's going to push you forward and support what you do.
For sure.
If you don't do that, you're never going to get started with anything. If you always got a negative friend group around you, every time you come up with an idea, and I'm like, no, I don't think you can do that. Well, I tried that and it didn't work for me. Like, you will always be stagnant. You will always be in the same position. So it's so important that you learn to, and most of the time it'd be like those historian relationships, people that's comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Like your new friend group be like-minded because you know how to pick friends now, or you know how to pick people that you want to be around.
Right.
You ain't young no more. It ain't based off we went to the same high school or we was on the same basketball team. You know, it's based off I'm trying to do something with my life. I'm trying to go somewhere.
Right.
And so when people are negative and casting your vision down, and every time you got to get rid of them. You got to X them out quick, D. Super fast. I don't play that no more.
Yeah.
You got to be like-minded. You got to be able to say, even if you don't believe that I can do it, lie to me. Seriously.
Yeah.
Make me feel like, man, you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Support, even if you don't feel like it.
Right.
Because my dream may intimidate you. My vision and my goals may seem unreal and impossible. And if it ain't big enough.
Or you just don't see it.
Or you just don't see it.
Yeah.
And that's fine too.
And that happens.
All the time.
It happens. Now you can give me constructive criticism.
Sure.
I would change this. I could do it this way. But At the end of the day, yeah, you have to be with like-minded people.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have to realize that the moment you step outside, no, it doesn't matter. You don't have to step outside. There's a team in place.
Yeah.
Right. So with the gladiators, right, they knew that this is a structure and I'm in an environment that death will come swiftly. But we don't view it like that.
Yeah.
Right, because our homes are so comfortable, right? We believe that we can go about this by ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? But the reality of it is that you are facing a team in every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Every aspect of your life, right? So your electric company, your gas company, who you bank with,
Sure.
the car company,
Your job.
your job, everything has a team dynamic behind that success.
Sure.
Right. So when you go to,
And we don't even look at it like that. But that's very true.
When you go to a car dealership, right?
Got
you
a
go
group
to
of
a
salesmen.
bank, you have a salesman, and you believe that you are dealing with this one person.
Yeah.
At the very most, you're dealing with that person and a manager. But that's not really who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a boardroom of individuals. You're dealing with lawyers.
Sure.
You're dealing with attorneys. You're dealing with accountants.
Yeah.
You're dealing with counsel.
Finance managers.
And you're dealing with decades of experience.
Wow.
Right? But you walking in there.
This is great.
Just little old you.
I hope y'all learning. Like, he's dropping gems right now. He's dropping gems.
So you think that it's me by myself.
Yeah.
And what happens, the majority of people, when they do buy a car, right? You normally have somebody to look at the car. If you're not buying a brand new car.
Yeah.
Right? If you're buying a used car, you have somebody. But some people don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? But then on the flip side, when you are signing those papers, I saw people with 24% interest rate on cars.
Insane.
Interest.
You just bought that car twice.
No, you just bought that car. You bought a brand new high-class Mercedes-Benz or BMW.
It's true.
And you have a limit. You paying the same note as somebody else is paying because you don't understand the dynamics of what you're signing.
Yeah.
And nobody taught you because you're operating by yourself.
Man, that is so true. That is so true. I remember I went to the car dealership with Mom one day. And I don't know if her credit wasn't good at the time or like, but you know how salesmen, they always try to like manipulate you to get what they want you to get, right? Like, and so they try to put her like in a little small Sonic or something like that. And I was like, nah, she don't want that, bro.
Right.
But imagine if she would have been alone.
Yeah.
They probably would have been able to finesse her into whatever they wanted to. I was like, nah, we didn't come here for that.
Right.
She want what she want. And if you can't provide that for her, then we'll go to the millions of other lots that's around.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think showing up as a unit into every situation is a win.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, somebody knows something.
Somebody knows something.
We're used to seeing people walk here alone.
Yes.
But these people are walking in as a team, walking in as a unit. I can't even play these games. Like, and when I was firing with him, he changed his whole mentality. He started offering us water and snacks.
No, they have to.
Like, it's different.
The approach is different when you are dealing with someone who is knowledgeable versus someone who is naive or ignorant.
Sure.
Right. Not ignorant like they can't comprehend, but they simply don't know.
Just don't know. Yeah.
They don't know.
Let's talk about how quickly money can accumulate. Let's talk about the money advantage of working as a team. Like just simple numbers.
Just simple numbers.
Yeah.
It's easy. I think that we miss that dynamic. When we fail to operate as a team, we miss out on the compound effect.
Yeah.
And the compound effect being when my siblings or anybody in my family, anybody I'm connected to, right?
Yeah.
When they go into a situation and we talk about this before we get into it because we trust one another and we're open with one another. Like we're not, oh man, I'm in this situation, so I'm ashamed to talk about it.
And we're like-minded.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have those advantages, right?
Sure.
So now when we walk into a dealership, or we walk into a potential predatory situation, then we are coming with a greater knowledge set.
Yeah.
And I'll give you one example. Most people, when they go and buy furniture, they tell them it is 0% interest for 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So they give them a payment.
Yeah.
Right? Most people, what they don't realize is those payments, in certain cases, they are not designed for you to pay them off within those 12 months. It's not. You can do the math.
So then you got to go into the question, okay, what's the interest after the 12 months? Because people get thrown off by the 0 interest for 12 months.
Yes.
And they fall, so I ain't got to pay interest?
Yes.
But if you don't pay it off in 12 months, then what's the interest after that?
Yes.
And 9 times out of 10, it'd be crazy amount.
The interest accumulates.
Yeah.
And so now you have the principal plus all of the interest that has been accumulating the entire time. And people are like, man, I was $5 away from paying this off. And they're like, oh no, that doesn't matter. You didn't pay it off within 12 months.
Sure.
So now when you have this situation where you have an individual who knows, hey, look, we got to pay it off.
Yeah.
We're going to pay this off in month 11. We're not even going to give it a chance to hit that 12th month.
Sure.
Now we take advantage of the 0% interest.
Correct.
Right? And another thing is when you know better and you execute it,
yeah,
then you know that you can walk away from certain situations.
Yeah.
And that's a different dynamic.
Very, very true. I like to think of it like just simple mathematics, right? If I'm by myself and I want to save, right? And I commit to saying, I'm going to put in $200 a month for easy numbers, right? My $200 a month, at the end of the year, I only got $2,400.
Right.
But when I add you, you say, well, D, I'm going to put in $200 a month too. Now we're at $4,800.
Right.
Then we take our other brother, King James, and he added to it. That 48 turns to $6,000 in 12 months. That easy.
Easy.
It triples what I can do. So, I mean, just simple math
of
just adding one individual expedite this process so fast. And now you start talking about just 3 people. I'm not even talking about our sister Naomi. I'm not even talking about our mom and dad.
Right.
I'm not even talking about DJ, Tiger, Uriah, Madison. Like all of these individuals, Naomi, like that can come and add to the pot. And if everybody putting in it, like you have exponential growth. Some people can't even save $6,000 a year.
No, it's hard.
It's very hard because life is life, right? Especially now, inflation and everything. Like you're almost like the way things are set up now and how things are going with the war and inflation, with all this stuff, with the look at the agreement that Russia just made with all of these countries. They understand the strength is in numbers.
Yeah.
With China and, Saudi Arabia and all these people. People, like, we're going to be forced to start back working together. I really believe it. What you think?
I don't know. I think that there is a mindset that is prevalent in our country and among individuals that I gotta thug it out by myself.
That's cool. Thug it out and be homeless.
Yeah,
or link with your tribe.
Yeah. And hold on, before we even get to that, linking with the tribe, a lot of times understanding and healing needs to take place. People gonna have to start taking ownership of
their roles,
past transgressions.
It's very true.
And that's hard to do. But you have to come to a place where you're like, my fault. I messed that up.
Yeah.
And I need to get right.
It's true.
Because that's what you do. That's what you do at your job.
That's what you do everywhere.
That's what you do with other relationships in life. You do it. Or what you're going to do is you're going to suffer the consequences of having fractured relationships.
It's very true. And that's more important than any numbers, right?
Easy.
But we see that all the time. We see people get into it and life humbles them to where they got to come back and say, you know what, Dad, I was tripping. I did it when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I got big and bad, bucked up to Dad. And he was like, bro, I ain't about to fight you.
Right.
Get out my house.
Right. That's the accountability aspect.
Yeah, and I stayed with a best friend's grandmother for a couple of days in the attic, and I was just like, this is not sustainable. I gotta go home and get right with my father.
Yeah.
And I had to go back home.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is absolutely true. And I think that's like, either you're gonna continue to increase in your finances in your career and whatever you're doing, like, or like it's about to get real hard. You see grocery prices going up.
Yeah, I stopped buying eggs.
Yeah, they're not playing, D. If you're not progressing and moving forward,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to call somebody. Hey, let's roommate.
No, you have to adjust.
You gotta get
get
a team.
I stopped buying. I looked at my grocery bill. Them eggs were $17. I said never again.
Them grocery stores and them farmers and them big companies, they understand the strength is in the numbers.
No, they do. They absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the first time I heard it, and not the first time, but he made it plain.
Yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki said, and Robert Kiyosaki is the author of a few books, but he's probably best known for Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
Sure.
He said, if you come into this business environment by yourself, you are going to lose because I'm not coming by myself.
Period.
He said, I'm coming with the knowledge that I have, but I'm coming with my attorneys, my advisors, my accountants, people who have experience in this industry.
Yeah.
And you're not going to win.
Automatic.
You're not going to win.
Instant slaughter.
So now we have to make it up in our minds that we want to win. We want to dominate.
Yeah.
We want to live a better life.
Yeah.
Which ultimately bears so much fruit, right? I often love The Compound Effect. Great book, by the way, called The Compound Effect. But I love the fruit that we bear when we work together.
Yeah.
Like, bro, if I'm lifting the couch right now, I'm not going to try to lift the couch by myself if it's too heavy. I'm going to say, hey, bro, grab the other end, we lift it, and it's easy.
It's easy. Right? It's done.
Saving, like you said, the average, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the average person doesn't have a savings of $400.
So what you're telling me is they're saying the average person doesn't have $400 in their savings account.
Yeah.
That number is crazy.
Yeah. The average person doesn't have $400 in their savings account, but also we have to look at why, right?
Yeah.
So if you are living check to check, you are thugging it out by yourself, all right, cool. There's a simple play to be made.
Yeah.
A simple play. Bro, if I'm thugging it out by myself, you thugging it out by yourself.
Yeah.
Why are we staying in separate apartments?
I mean, I'm glad you said that because it's like a perfect segue for what, me and James did, which is, King James, which is our other brother. He's somewhere paying $800, $900. I'm somewhere paying $1,200.
Yeah.
And we like, dude, we live in the same city. We actually get along.
Yeah. Why
not come together and share the bills, share the mortgage, split everything 50-50?
Yeah.
And went from doing that to like our mortgage is crazy low, right? And then it just look.
No, that's what
working together is so much better. Like, I cannot wait to begin to teach our subscribers and our followers some of these hacks and these tools and tricks that we've developed over the years, man, because it's gonna bless somebody's life. It's gonna help somebody out tremendously.
And it's practical. I'm big on practical.
Yeah, it ain't.
I don't do a whole bunch of motivational speeches.
It ain't a bunch of turn to your neighbor, high five. It ain't spin around in a circle. This is very practical, very like I remember I called you one day, D, and I was like, man, I'm struggling, man, and my finances. And you was like, well, it's simple, D. If you got to make more money or you got to let some stuff go. And I'm like, that's all you got for me? He's like, I'm not about to give you no fairy tale, hocus pocus, like get rich. And
I'm not about to give you no calculus.
It's simple. Plus and minus. Addition, subtraction.
That's all it is.
And so, man, when me and James decided to do that, I mean, it just changed the game.
Yeah.
And not only did it change the game for us, it changed the game for our sons.
Yes.
Now they see that working together is possible, number one.
Right.
and it actually brings us closer as a family unit. Number
Yes.
two, and it allows us to operate at a level that no one else is operating in
Yeah. And
because they're by themselves. They see like, man, we come like we show up everywhere 5 to 7 deep.
yeah.
They see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's just directing it where it needs to be directed.
Sure.
People will mob up together to go fight, to go to a concert, to go to leisure activities,
Yeah.
but mobbing up to have financial flexibility
Sure.
is we didn't learn that where we come from.
It's true. Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
I have to say this. In order to do what James and I did, you have to lose pride, and you can't care about what nobody talking about. It was so many people saying, "Oh, y'all live together? Are y'all doing this together? Oh, you got a roommate? You doing?"
Just cutting out the outside noise.
Just getting rid of what people think is the right way.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just bite the bullet and hold my tongue and don't say nothing. But other times I was like, so you rather pay what you pay and buy yourself and live check to check and struggle for real?
Struggling. Fridge
Then-
empty,
Yes, no
Lights
furniture, lights, like you robbing Peter to pay Paul.
but I got my own apartment.
But I got my own. So it looks cute on the outside, but
Sounds
within, you know what your bank account looking like.
Yeah.
You know what your financial situation looking like. So a lot of times, man, we got to get rid of all that bad teaching, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you said that, D.
Staying home with mama is good sometimes. We got to talk. That's got to be a whole episode.
Yeah.
Staying home with mom, staying home with dad, getting roommates,
Staying with your family.
staying with family, friend.
Change how we got to change the way we think. We got to change the way we talk.
Yeah.
When you say, "Oh, I stay home with my mom," you stay with your mom. I stay with my family.
Stay with my family.
I stay with my family. You stay with your brother with it? No, I
Yeah.
stay with my family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's simple. 1 + 1, it don't even equal 2 when we doing it the right way.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
exponential, bro.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times people are tripping off what the opposite sex is saying. For a lot of men, it's pressure to have your own. I can't mess with a man that stay, with his mom or dad. I want him to have, and it's just like, man, everybody are in different places in life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so that's just pressure. And then you got these young men trying to live up to that pressure and putting themselves in debt.
Yeah. But that
Getting credit cards and maxing them out because they can't maintain and keep up.
Yeah.
And it's a vicious cycle, man. And it's a bunch of BS, honestly.
but it's coming from both sides. It's not necessarily the opposite sex.
Yeah. No, I'm talking
It's
about
both.
set for both sides. Like men are pressuring
okay.
and women are pressure. Like I was just giving that one
Yeah.
example. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is like it's unnecessary
But
noise.
it's
and
what they
unnecessary
grew up
pressure.
in.
It's very true.
And we have to understand that the people who are furthering themselves, the people who are dominating, they're doing so because they are doing something different.
Yeah.
Something different is taking place. And if we are smart and we want something different,
Yeah.
then we have to change.
We gotta do something
We're
different.
not talking to, if you cool with your situation, you cool with
Yeah.
stomach in the back of your,
Right.
you cool with that? If
Yeah.
you cool with, you go
Brody
to
making it-
Bahamas
Yeah.
and you come back and them lights off
Sure.
and you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. That's not who we talking about.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about these people those of us who have an inkling, a desire, something in the back of our mind that we know something got to change.
Something got to change.
Doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who it is. And so when you realize that, what you'll find is when you thought you were the only one thinking like this,
Yeah.
that's not true. There's so many other people thinking how you think. And
Yeah.
The only thing you need to do is connect with them.
Yeah. So I want to end the show with a little rapid fire for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you some multiple choice, and you just give me, you give me your answer. Credit or cash?
Credit.
Dang. I almost want you to expound on that with this rapid fire. Credit and cash. Okay. Financing or buying outright?
Financing is credit or cash.
It is. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Jay-Z or Tupac?
You know, I'm a Jay-Z fan.
Jay-Z over everybody, huh?
Jay-Z over. I think his business acumen. You gotta look at his longevity. Like I really studied how he moved.
Yeah. That's your dude. That's been your dude.
Yeah, he's been my guy. Like ever since I really started paying attention. Like you gotta look at.
Yeah.
He started with like Big Daddy Kane type stuff, and before that, who he was rocking with, and he's always managed to excel and keep it. Like he's been relevant since we were kids. Like he's been relevant. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do, and that only comes when you're able to pivot, right, and continue to grow and know like, oh, this is hot. Like let me change. Like this dude, he used to rap how he raps. Now he had to evolve. And you know, people have certain things to say, and I like his music. You know, Black Album. You know, blueprints. He's giving you the blueprint. Like it's genius, bro. He's been telling people like I've been giving y'all the game. Buy it for $10.99. He said in his song, "I'll give you $1 million worth of game for 10 for 9." Come on, man.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Y'all can tell he's a Jay-Z fan. He would have took a whole spiel on rapid fire. Money or family?
Family. Ooh, that's a great one. Family. It's not even close.
It's not even close. You not about to expound this rapid fire. One last one. Starting from the bottom, getting it out the mud, or inheritance?
Ooh. For me personally.
Yes.
For me, right? Not for my kids, but for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it out the mud type of guy.
All
but
right.
for my kids,
Inheritance.
For my loved ones, inheritance.
You're a good man, man.
With the grit to get it out the mud.
Perfect answer. Hey, this has been one hell of an episode, man. Hey, it's your boy Tread the Great.
I'm just Daniel.
And this is All Things Connected. We out.